Hi guys. Today I will introduce some academic papers that delve into the fascinating world of language models, self-driving simulation scenarios, cultural adaptation of recipes, grounded dialogue system. These papers offer innovative approaches and solutions to improve the capabilities and performance of these systems. Get ready to dive into the exciting realm of cutting-edge research. The paper JudgeLM is about a new way to evaluate large language models, LLMs, called JudgeLM. LLMs are computer programs that can understand and generate human-like text. However, it is difficult to know how well these models perform in real-world scenarios. The authors of the paper have created a large data set that includes different tasks and answers generated by LLMs. They also developed JudgeLM, which is a program that can judge the quality of the LLM's answers. But the authors also addressed biases in the judging process and introduced techniques to improve the performance of JudgeLM. And this paper is important because it helps us understand and improve the capabilities of LLMs. The paper dialogue-based generation of self-driving simulation scenarios using large language models introduces a system that helps create self-driving simulation scenarios using natural language interfaces. The authors address the challenge of making this process user-friendly and accessible. They propose using a large language model, LLM, to convert English descriptions of scenarios into code. The system allows users to interact with the LLM through dialogue, refining and evaluating the generated scenarios based on their feedback. The paper also suggests incorporating in-context learning techniques to improve the LLM's performance with limited training data. Overall, this paper contributes to the development of more user-friendly and efficient self-driving simulation scenario generation. The paper, Cultural Adaptation of Recipes, is all about making recipes from different cultures understandable and accessible to everyone. It goes beyond just translating the words and focuses on understanding the ingredients, techniques, and preferences of different cultures. The paper introduces a new task called cross-cultural recipe adaptation and creates a data set of paired recipes in Chinese and English. It also explores different methods like machine translation and language models to adapt recipes. The paper's contribution is important because it helps people from different cultures share and enjoy delicious recipes from around the world. The paper Symbolic Planning and Code Generation for Grounded Dialogue introduces a new approach to improve the performance of language models in task-oriented dialogue systems. The authors address the limitations of existing models by combining large language models with symbolic planning and grounded code execution. They propose using code generation to interpret language and perform compositional reasoning, allowing the system to understand and execute partner utterances. By incorporating symbolic planning, the system can determine the most appropriate response based on task objectives. This approach aims to enhance controllability and optimize task success in grounded dialogue systems. Overall, the paper's contributions provide a modular and interpretable system that improves the performance of language models in task-oriented dialogue. The paper incorporating probing signals into multimodal machine translation via visual question answering pairs addresses the problem of multimodal machine translation systems not effectively utilizing visual information when text inputs are complete. The paper proposes a novel approach to generate visual question answering styles, pairs from the source text, which enhances the interaction between text and visual inputs. The authors also create the multi-30K VQA dataset using large language models to explicitly model the probing signal in multimodal machine translation. They introduce a multitask learning framework to incorporate explicit probing signals into the training process. This paper's contributions are significant in improving the performance of multimodal machine translation systems by incorporating advanced vision features and explicit probing signals. The paper FLEEK is about a tool that helps detect and correct factual errors in written information. It's important because sometimes people make mistakes or provide incorrect information, and it's crucial to have a way to identify and fix these errors. The tool works by extracting factual claims from the text, gathering evidence from reliable sources, and evaluating the accuracy of each claim. It then suggests revisions to correct any errors found. This tool can be used to improve the quality and reliability of information, whether it's written by humans or generated by computer programs. The paper follow-on question suggestion via voice hints for voice assistants addresses the challenge of suggesting follow-up questions in voice-based settings. This is important because suggesting questions in voice-based interactions is more difficult than in screen-based search experiences. The paper introduces a framework that generates voice-friendly hints based on linguistic principles. It also presents a data set of over 6,000 questions and hints for evaluating the models. The paper's main contributions are defining the task of suggesting questions with voice hints, proposing a framework for generating voice-friendly hints, and creating a data set for evaluating the models. And this research is really significant as improves the user experience of voice assistants and by providing helpful follow-up question suggestions. The paper, Conditionally Combining Robot Skills Using Large Language Models, introduces a new way to improve the performance and generalization of robots in completing tasks. The authors address the challenge of combining different skills in robotics by using large language models. Because the title is Broken Being Roast, and they create a benchmark called Language World, which allows researchers to test LLMs in robotic environments. The paper also presents a method called plan-conditioned behavioral cloning, which uses conditional plans and demonstrations to teach robots how to perform tasks. The authors demonstrate that this approach leads to strong performance and the ability to generalize to new tasks with minimal training. And overall, this paper contributes to the field of robotics by showing how language models can enhance robots' skills and make them more adaptable. The paper Automatic Logical Forms Improve Fidelity in Table-to-Text Generation introduces a new approach to improve the accuracy of generating text from tables. The authors propose a two-step model called TLT, which first generates logical forms from the table, and then uses those forms to produce text statements. By separating the content selection process, the authors are able to evaluate the effectiveness of automatic logical forms. The paper shows that using automatic logical forms significantly increases the factual correctness of the generated text. This research is important because it addresses the problem of low accuracy in table-to-text generation systems and provides a solution to improve their fidelity. And the paper boost and addresses the problem of large language models lacking common sense knowledge in their generated outputs. It introduces a framework called Boost that trains an auxiliary model to guide the LLM towards generating more commonsensical outputs. This is done by using a common sense scorer to evaluate the commonsensical score of a sentence, and a reference-free evaluator to assess its compatibility with a dynamic common sense knowledge base. The paper demonstrates that Boost is effective in generating more commonsensical outputs compared to other methods. And this research is important because it helps improve the quality and reliability of language models in understanding and generating human-like text. Okay, that's all for today. The first session is in today's session. We explored various papers that focused on improving the capabilities of large language models in different domains. We discussed, topics such as evaluating LLMs, generating self-driving simulation scenarios, and detecting factual errors, and improved this research. These papers contribute to advancing the field of natural language processing and have the potential to enhance the performance and usability of LLMs in real-world scenarios. If you enjoyed my video, I'd appreciate if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me create more content. Thank you. See you next Monday.